So I will try to give other arguments and also explain a little bit our project. It's a great honor to be able to speak to you in this parliament, and I would like to thank you, Madam Vesna Vučemilović, the President of the Committee for Family, Youth and Sports, and also Željka Markić, the Executive Director of In Name of the Family organization. So we are very happy to be here with Olivia and all the people who are working with us, because this is indeed a real important subject. Maybe in these countries it's not like in the public opinion yet, but it will be, as you were saying, like this is a very expanding market, billion-dollar market. Okay, so this is like maybe a first idea. This is not, as sometimes public opinion are presenting things, this is a very lucrative market and a very aggressive market against women and against children. So as I was saying before, it's very important for you, like politicians, public opinion, governments, to think about this, because this regards the society we are going to build, you know? What kind of society this market, these people, these clinics, these lawyers, these agencies are proposing to our children, to our countries, and not just in Europe or in the Western countries, but all over the world. Because we know that this is not just a local thing, it's a global thing. Surrogacy is a global thing, an international thing. That's why we as lawyers and also teachers, psychologists, medical doctors, we are proposing this reaction to this market. Since this is an international market, we need an international convention. So we are trying to think about how international law, states, international community have to deal with surrogacy. Because when we think in a like economic perspective, we have markets who can be regulated, like, I don't know, car trades, I don't know, financial, wherever, and normally we can have international rules for this. And then we have other markets which are illegal and against human dignity. We're talking about human trafficking, drugs, maybe weapons, I don't know, some kind of weapons. And these markets will always exist, but they cannot be regulated, they have to be abolished. This is the same for this market of surrogacy. As I was saying before, and we have to be very awake about this, fertility clinics, surrogacy agencies, law firms are the big beneficiaries of this. Sometimes public opinion, or some people are talking about these couples, these persons, these rich persons who are paying for have children, but we have to know that there are companies behind them and with very big interests. So yes, in a simple way to explain, so we have rich countries or rich societies, rich people, and these poor women who are like the victims of these markets, and also the children. I work for an international NGO of children's rights, but of course we are aware of the situation of these women, and also about the less richer countries. Because of what? Because, for example, you are politicians, you are maybe working in NGOs, and you are working to make a better world for women, for children, and then you have these big companies from abroad who are coming to propose some dollars, some $1,000 for these poor women. And how can you resist? You know, if you are coming, for example, I live in the Middle East, and we have a very bad situation there. And how can a poor woman from Lebanon can decide if somebody proposed to her like $2,000 to carry a baby, or to have a job, to study, or wherever. So all the political ideas governments, society are proposing to empower women, to make them better lives, are a threat. A surrogacy market is a threat for all these ideas. So yes, maybe I repeat a little bit the same idea, but it's very important. Like in economic perspective, you have like what are the main idea of the market, what are like the base of a market, and this I think, and the Pope Francis, as Madame told us at the beginning, is very clear about this, is the vulnerability of women. This market works thanks to these women who wants to have a better life and who are, in a certain way, victims of this market, and they are available to forget their liberty and their dignity to have more opportunities. Why is that important? Because, as you were saying, Professor, of course, we can talk about philosophy of law, human dignity, but if we compare, I think, at least in France, one of these contracts where a woman is reduced to her reproductive condition, how can, for example, social law or labor law, I think we can say, employment law, sorry, can resist or can apply to this contract? It's like you are working all the time. You cannot have a relation with your husband. You cannot eat in certain ways. Sometimes they are in a room all the day. This is, I don't know, this is not agree with employment law. This is not agree with human dignity. And this sometimes is a little bit hidden with these stories and with this, the market, who is pushing up to have a law in this, in all the world to propose surrogacy. So we also have we have to be aware that we are living in a globalized world, globalized markets, and internet and social media are the vehicle to meet these women and to put the contact between agencies, clinics, and clients also. So we, in our group, Casablanca group, have some people who are in these groups on social media, WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, and others. And it's terrible, but it's true that some young women in Latin America, the Middle East, other countries, are asking, like, how can I carry a baby? The other day, a journalist told me that in Madrid, a young lady, a young woman, proposed to her to rent her womb because she was poor, and she see this as an opportunity to her to have a better life. So that's why we also have to be very aware of publicity. Some agencies propose that I can pay for your studies, but you have to carry a baby, or you can sell your eggs, and we can pay your, I don't know, mortgage or other fees. So why we tried, and we are here also to propose an international treaty about surrogacy, abolition of surrogacy. Because I know, and you were telling us before, that in Croatia, for example, even in France, Italy, Spain, surrogacy can be banned or it's not recognized. But then because in our countries people are richer, they can go abroad. They could go to Ukraine, they can go to Colombia, they can go also to the US to perform surrogacy. So, as I was saying before, this is a global market. So, like, the local laws are very important for your countries, but they are not enough, okay? That's why Casablanca Group is a global idea also. You were saying, Professor, from feminist groups, also is the position of the French Ethical Committee, and the Pope also talk about this, of course. That is, we need an international convention about surrogacy, because in one side, local laws are not enough, and then these clinics, this market is expanding because they are saying, because this is not regulated, we can do it. It's like a principle in private law. If it's not forbidden, we can do it. Of course, and as the professor was saying, we have all the international law in our side, the International Convention of Children, the right to know our origins, the right to be educated by the parents, and in the other side there is no international right to be a parent. That's a very good thing, because which is the basis or the legal basis of these people who are like asking these women to have a children for them? There is no legal basis to do this. There is no at all in international law, and of course in some countries like yours, there is no local laws. So this is very important because, like, the international law is in our side. You were talking also about the declaration of the European Parliament about surrogacy in Ukraine. Now we have been working also in this new directive or proposition reform of human trafficking directive in the European Union. You were saying, and it's I agree more or less that of course this surrogacy is now, it will be in this directive of human trafficking. But it's not like in case of human trafficking, because surrogacy is also always human trafficking. That's why we can put it in this law, in this directive. But even these arguments we have in our side, the market, because this is capitalism with no limits, it's expanding because some people, they really think you can pay a woman to be a prostitute, that have a woman for you, or pornography, or other things. So surrogacy cannot be regulated. That's a very good point. You cannot like propose a frame, because I think in a legal perspective it's impossible. You know, because what are the conditions? Which are the conditions to propose like an ethical surrogacy? Who are the parents? What are the rights of the surrogate mother? Which are the rights of the children? It's very, very difficult to propose like a convention to regulate surrogacy. And the proof is, in my opinion, this conference of the A you were talking about before, Professor. They have been working for many years on this, and they don't reach to propose a draft. You know, this for me is the, as we say in French, l'aveu de leur échec. They are, with this, they are saying it's impossible, it's a failure, you know. And for us, the Casablanca Declaration, the best solution in a political and in a legal and in a human rights perspective is to simply abolish surrogacy. And yesterday, a student was posed as the question, if you abolish surrogacy, there will be also like a black market. But it will be the case also with this convention if they were regulated. We saw this summer these cases in Greece, Cyprus. There are many countries where surrogacy is more or less legal, altruistic surrogacy or other kinds of surrogacy, so named. And even if they have this market in their country, they have clinics, the black market, the oppression of women is present, you know. It is not because a practice is being carried out that we should regulate it. That's a normal principle of law. So the best solution and the only solution is global abolition. So we were talking before about Casablanca Declaration, this call from experts from more than 75 countries, and we are growing up. This is our first step. This was our first step because we need like theoretical and scientific work, legal work, medical work, psychology work also, to push this idea. But then our main concern is global and diplomatic work. And that's why we are here. We have to inform and to educate people, to educate our societies that a child has this right to know his origins, to be educated, and to be with her parents or his parents. This is not a partisan cause. You were also saying before, this is not a religious thing, this is not from the left, this is not from the right. I think our opponents, this global market, they want people to be separated, to say, oh, this is a conservative thing, this is from the radical feminist thing. This is human dignity, this is human rights, this is a cause for all humanity. For me, it's one of the big missions we have as humanity today. The history showed us that slavery, for example, was also a very big market. And we had the case in France, also in England, these people who every year they propose this law to abolish slavery, and their friends, they told, but we have slaves, they are happy, and this is a market and wherever. And it's similar. This is human dignity, and we have to work together, and we have to be very, very generous, because sometimes people in local, how can I say, or in the countries, we have This is sometimes difficult to work together with other groups. We are not agreeing in some issues, but this is more than this, and that's why we also try to approach in an international perspective. So the declaration calls on states to commit on an international treaty. That is our goal. We have to be very clear about this, and we have to be optimistic and how can I say? Because this is possible. We think this is possible. It is ambitious and this is difficult, but it is possible. Why? Because we have many groups, and I think if you make a referendum in many countries, people will agree with us. And as Olivia will say, I think if you show to people what's the reality of this surrogacy market, they will approve this. They will approve our declaration, our idea. So yes, and just to finish, so the idea is to gather countries. So we have some contacts in Italy. We went to the Czech Republic and other countries, and of course we had this very beautiful message from the Pope Francis. We were in the Vatican working with them, and then Olivia, she will tell us, she wrote a letter to the Pope, and then the Pope made this statement as a public figure, as a leader. And that's why also we're expecting from Croatia, from many countries, from politicians, to be, in a certain way, the pioneers, the leaders of this global abolition. Thank you very much.